everybody? Welcome back to Teach Better with Ben. I just want to clear something up from my last video. If you didn't see that video, the description is down below. I wanted to clear up the fact that yes, I am making this video for educators, but I'm also making this video for my students. The reason why I'm making this video for my students is I want my kids to know that if they have a dream in life, if they want to do something in life, if they want to become a YouTuber, that they need to go after it and they don't need to let anybody stop them, and they don't need to let anybody stand in their way. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and put a comment down of anything that you're struggling with or anything that you have successes with. Thank you. Enjoy the video. In this video, guys, I want to talk about why you're a teacher 24/7 and not just at school. There is many things that I see on social media, on YouTube, at football games, at volleyball games, at public events, where I see teachers not acting like they would in the classroom in front of their students. The reason why I want to talk about this is because I think it's a big deal, and I think especially for new educators, I think that you have to know that anytime you put something on Facebook, anytime you put something out there for the rest of the world to see, anytime you go somewhere, adult establishment, anything like that, you go somewhere, you will get recognized by someone. Someone knows somebody that knows you. And if you can keep all those things to a minimum, then you'll have a better chance of getting hired, you'll have a better chance of retaining your job, and you'll have a better chance of creating good rapport with your parents and with your students. When you choose to be a teacher, you've chosen a career and not just a day-to-day job. What that means is that every single thing that you do, people see it. Every single thing that you are doing in the classroom is very tasking, especially emotionally. I read somewhere not too long ago that teachers make over 1,000 decisions every single day. And if you count that times 180 contracted days in a year, that's 180,000 decisions that you've made in one single year. And if you take that over a 30-year period, that's 5.4 million educator decisions that you've made across your career. And I know that might seem pretty high to some people, but I actually think that's kind of low. I feel like every single day I'm making way more decisions than that. From when somebody asks me to go to the bathroom, I'm making the decision on if this is an appropriate time or if this isn't an appropriate time. Every single time that you walk into that room, you have to be ready to make a difference, and that's why it's a career and not just a job. A lot of kids come out of college and they think about education as being a career, and they think about the lives that they're going to change. And I think one thing that they fail to remember is that this isn't just a job at a schoolhouse. And these are the types of things that I've noticed thus far. When you do things outside the classroom, like, for example, make YouTube videos, you have to remember that your students are going to find those videos and they're going to watch those videos. They're going to comment on those videos. Speaking of comment, if you haven't liked or commented in this video, please do so. Remember, your students are going to think about, what did I see in my teacher's video? What did they say? Why are they saying it? How are they saying it? Really, no matter what content you're putting out there, if you wouldn't say those words in the classroom, don't say them on YouTube. You're asking for trouble, because guess what? Your student sees it, and then guess who they show first? Their parent. Then the parent sees it, then your administrators see it, and next thing, something rolls downhill. And next thing you know, you're without a job and you've lost your career. Now, I know some of you just said, I don't care what their parents think. Well, you should. You should, because the parents tell the administrators. Your administrators have to watch it. They have to tell HR. It's part of their job. If they aren't doing it, then they're going to lose their job. If you put something on YouTube, make sure the content is appropriate. If you decide that you want to put something on there that isn't appropriate for kids, it doesn't matter. They're gonna see the video. They're gonna see that content, okay? I've known many people that put things on social media or put things on YouTube, and I think that's probably not the best thing. You might even be thinking, Well, it's okay, I can get a job at the next school district, or at this next school, or maybe at the next school in a different state. Guess what administrators talk? Guess what administrators were before they were administrators? They were teachers. Guess what? Administrators care about those kids. They care about all kids, not just the ones in the building. If you do not believe me, you can look at many cases on the internet. Look it up, type it in. You can tell that when teachers do something they're not supposed to on YouTube, they'll get in trouble for it. That brings me to my second point, guys. Social media. That's your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please do so. B_Watson1985. My advice is to choose appropriate content on there as well, because I have one good rule of thumb. You wouldn't say to your students in the classroom, don't post it on social media. Let's pretend like for a second that you're over 21. You decide to go out with your friends to the bar. You're taking pictures of you guys taking shots. That's all fun and games. Okay, on a Friday night, you did the adult thing. You got a designated driver. You made it safely home to your house. Okay, that's fine. But somebody's going to see that photo. Somebody's going to see those photos. No matter what, somebody will see it. If you say, okay, I'll just set my status to private where nobody can see it. Well, you add friends onto your Facebook page. People look at your Facebook page. Other teachers look at your Facebook page. Guess what? Those teachers have friends that aren't teachers. Those teachers probably have friends that are your students' parents, or used to be your students' parents, or are going to be your students' parents in the future. Somebody takes a screenshot. Again, they give it to your administrator. Next thing you know, you're having to explain to your administrator why these pictures are floating around on the internet. And once they have that screenshot, it can never be deleted. My last point about social media, for you new teachers, if you're searching for a job, I can guarantee you that your administrators or people on the panel that are going to hire you are looking at your social media. They're going and checking your Facebook. I was told by another teacher in my building that when I got interviewed, they looked at my Facebook page and they said, oh, he's a family man. He goes fishing on the beach. I had no inappropriate content on there. I had no pictures of me taking shots with my buddies. I had nothing like that. I don't even put pictures of myself without my shirt on in my Facebook page. I do that for a reason, because I don't want my students to see that. Okay? I don't want anybody else to see it either, but I don't want my students to see it for sure. When I used to work retail, I would make a point I'd get a person's resume, then I would make a point to go on their social media and look them up on Facebook. That was before the days that you could set your status as private and where nobody could see it. And before I even called them, I knew what kind of person they were. I knew if they were go out all night and party, guess what? I didn't want those people working for me, because they wouldn't show up to work every day. I already knew that. If you're putting that image out, everyone in your school is going to know about it. My next point, guys, is that you have to be a teacher even when you go to the grocery store. Yes, the grocery store. When I say grocery store, I mean anything outside of normal school hours. Going to the grocery store, restaurants, anything like that. When you go to the grocery store, you have to think about what you put inside your cart. Every single time, no matter what, every single time I go to the grocery store with my wife, well, mainly I don't, because I'm impulsive and she knows that, but that's a different story for a different day. When I go with her to the grocery store, without a doubt, every single time I put something adult related in my cart, I see one of my students' parents or my students. And you know you're not about to walk by one of your students' parents or your students without saying hi, because as soon as you do, then you've crushed that student's heart. They thought, oh, Mr. Watson only wants to see me whenever I'm at school, not whenever I'm out in the public either. My final point, guys, is at school functions. You still have to be a teacher at school functions, no matter what. No matter if you're the coach at the school function or just somebody watching. Okay, I know a lot of teachers have kids out there that play sports, and you have to make sure that you're still a teacher even whenever you have to go and watch your own kid. Okay, I have a personal story about this, and to this day, this teacher haunts me 17 years after the event has happened. I was at one of my local football games in high school. I was a sophomore in high school. I'll never forget it. I just got my driver's license, so it was kind of a big deal for me to go drive to the football game. I didn't have to wait for my parents. I was able to go in by myself, sitting in the stands with my friends. The other team starts absolutely destroying the team that I'm rooting for. It's quiet in the crowd. A guy stands up and yells at the ref, "You suck, refs," as loud as he can at the top of his lungs. I look over to see who it is, and it was one of my teachers. That day, I lost 100% respect for him. I realized he's not a good person. I didn't want to be associated with him. I didn't want to be around him. And the whole time before that, I thought he was a great guy because of the way he treated me at school. This was really the first time I saw him outside of school. Okay? To this day, I remember that story so vividly because I remember the next semester getting my schedule and realizing his name was on there, and then I went to the counselor's office and asked to get changed out of that class because I did not want to be associated with that type of person or that type of behavior. Now, I've never shared that story with anybody, and 17 years later, it still plays a huge role in my life. And I think, do I want my students to see me in that light? Do I want my students to see me yelling at the refs at a football game? I don't want that, and you shouldn't want that either. Thank you again, everybody, for tuning in to Teach Better with Ben and why you're a teacher 24/7 and not just in the classroom. I really appreciate you watching this video. If you enjoyed the content of this video, please make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and comment down below with a success or something you're struggling with. And I'll try to answer those in the next video. Thank you so much. Think about the job as a day-to-day and not cut that out completely. Okay? If you have a student that sees something inappropriate on there, cut.